From the moment we enter adulthood, our lives are defined by a simple, unavoidable equation. We trade our time, our energy, and our physical labor for the resources we need to survive. We clock in, we work, and we get paid. But on a macro level, that system is straining. Take a look at this chart tracking U.S. government spending. The line rocketing upward represents the interest payments on the national debt. Right now, that single expense exceeds the entire military budget of the United States. Looking at the underlying mechanics on this graph explains why everything feels so expensive. When governments run massive deficits, they increase the money supply. If that printed money grows faster than the actual physical goods and services being produced, the result is heavy inflation. Prices go up because more dollars are chasing the exact same amount of stuff. Elon Musk recently described the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence and robotics as a supersonic tsunami. We are moving past text-based chatbots and entering an era of real-world AI deploying directly into physical space. Musk predicts that within the next 20 years, this robotic workforce will trigger an economic chain reaction that completely eradicates the concept of employment. It will push society past the point where trading your labor for a wage is even necessary. The economic rules humanity has followed for centuries are about to be overwritten by a surge of technological abundance. A human worker requires a salary, health benefits, weekend breaks, and sleep. A robotic workforce operates continuously. Because robots never clock out, you remove human biological limits from the manufacturing process. As these machines build more machines, and those machines build more solar panels and microchips, the total volume of physical goods rolling off assembly lines will begin to compound exponentially. This chart illustrates Musk's timeline for the next 36 months. We are tracking government money printing against the production of real-world items. Within 3 years, he estimates the sheer output of manufactured goods and services will surpass even the government's ability to print money. When the cost to manufacture an item drops because labor is virtually free and energy is abundant, the price tag on that item collapses. We are heading into a period of massive global deflation, where the cost of living rapidly approaches zero. In a world of collapsing prices, the traditional tools for managing the economy must shift. To prevent the economy from stalling out during this deflationary cycle, global interest rates will likely fall to 0%, as the incentive to hoard cash disappears when goods are becoming cheaper every day. With interest rates flatlined, the weight of our current debt crisis changes. When it costs almost nothing to maintain those balances, the massive interest payments currently eating our national budgets effectively vanish. This shift turns AI into a deflationary physical force, one powerful enough to invert the fundamental laws of supply and demand. As human labor becomes outmatched and entirely unnecessary for the global supply chain, society will transition away from wages. Instead, we will move toward a universal high income, where everyone has access to whatever goods and services they need. In this scenario, clocking into a job becomes optional. Working will be exactly like growing your own vegetables in a backyard garden. It is something you do because you find it personally fulfilling, not because you'll starve if you don't. But if nobody has to work, we have to ask a very weird question. What is the actual point of money? Imagine being stranded on a desert island with $1 trillion in cash. That money is completely worthless. This flowchart shows how Musk defines currency. Money is not absolute power in and of itself. It is simply a database, an information system designed to allocate human labor towards specific tasks and production goals. The reason that $1 trillion does you no good on a desert island is because there are no other humans around. There is absolutely no labor for your database to organize. Now scale that island up to the entire planet. If the mining, the manufacturing, and the logistics are entirely handled by machines, there is zero human labor left for the economy to allocate. Without a human workforce to direct, the very concept of money loses its core mechanical function. The database becomes empty, and the currency disappears. Dollars, euros, and yen were a temporary technology we invented to manage scarcity. In an automated world of infinite abundance, we simply won't need them anymore. If the paper in our wallets and the digits in our bank accounts disappear, what will human civilization use to measure wealth? Astrophysicists use the Kardashev scale to measure civilizational progress. In a post-scarcity future, true wealth isn't tracked in dollars, but in the percentage of a star's energy that a society can successfully capture and put to use. Energy becomes the definitive currency. It is bound by the strict laws of physics. It requires massive physical infrastructure to harness, and crucially, it cannot be legislated or printed into existence by a central bank. Getting to this utopian solar-powered future requires walking a tightrope. We have to program these increasingly intelligent machines with an absolute adherence to truth, an appreciation for beauty, and a deep curiosity. We need the AI to find humanity interesting enough to preserve. Just as trillions of individual cells cooperate to form a single conscious human, Musk sees a post-scarcity humanity as a vast cellular collective. Freed from the daily struggle for physical survival, our species becomes a massive, interconnected consciousness dedicated to investigating the nature of the universe. But until that post-money era arrives, Musk offers a very grounded piece of advice. Don't chase money directly. Focus purely on being a value creator. Build useful things, and always